pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Greg Gordon.
Here.
Daniel Huston.
Here.
And Nancy Snyder.
Yes.
And then June Laney.
Present.
And George.
Here with bells on.
Okay, approval of the agenda. Can I have a motion for that?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And a motion to approve the minutes from July 8th.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Greetings, citizens, staff, and board members. We have a busy meeting tonight, but I want to mention a few very important changes that we will be implementing based on our ordinances. Number one, we will be updating our website. It will include the ability for anyone to sign up for notifications for meetings, agendas, or minutes. We are going to try to make it cleaner and easier to find. This is just beginning, so it's going to take several months, so it'll probably be closer to the end of the year. But I did want to point that out because we are having some issues with people not seeing minutes and things, so we're trying. Also, the village will be billing for damages to our water and sewer equipment, such as backing over the holding tanks or mowing too close and snapping the pipe. Also, billing for sewage pumping that we have to order because businesses have not kept up with the pumping of grease and holding tanks. This applies mostly to commercial and restaurants, some RV parks, and some apartments. This is in the ordinance. If you do not have a copy of the ordinance, please contact one of the clerks. The village is managing building permit. You must obtain a building permit for the building of decks, fences, signs, houses, and demolition of buildings and more. We prefer you ask before we see or hear about something being built. It will save money not to have to tear something out that doesn't comply with our codes. We will be putting the new codes in front of Planning and Zoning Committee in September. There will be a public notice posted. As you know, we have a public hearing on August 27th on Thursday at 5 p.m. and everyone is welcome. That happens to be specifically for data center. Visitors comment time. I do want to make it known to everyone that this time is not for a back and forth with the board. You can meet or talk with the board at any time, but the comment time is really for stating a question or an issue or a comment. The board has a full agenda of things to discuss, and we will not engage in a back and forth on other issues that are not planned. So thank you for understanding that. The public hearing to go over, oh, there it is. The proposed data center ordinance will be on Thursday, August 27th at 5 p.m. We welcome everyone to hear what the ordinance says and to make sure it meets the needs and wants of the village. We are following the state law by providing an ordinance. This public event will provide all the information we have gathered and what we will allow if approached on a data center. I want to mention that the penny rounding will begin on August 28th. We got a notice from DOR, which is Department of Revenue. So if you purchase something and it adds up to $1.92, it rounds down to $1.90. If you buy something for $1.93, it rounds up to $1.95. So that is beginning in August. Hopefully they put that out for the public. I just got this from Department of Revenue, so I don't know how they're actually putting that out there.
I got one.
Did you get one? Okay, so they must be sending it out to all businesses that pay taxes. Okay. I just want to mention, if there's a note on the door, please use our mailbox out front for payments or leave a voice message or for a return call. Sometimes our clerks are out doing other work. And as you know, we don't have a whole lot of people working here. So sometimes if they have to run out to the bank or the post office, they're going to put a sign on the door and you'll just have to wait till they get back. The board is doing everything possible to be transparent and manage the village in a professional and respectful manner. Please call any board member if you have questions about the village. I thank you. Okay, are there any visitors' comments today? No visitors' comments, okay. Chief, you got a report for us?
Yeah, so the numbers on the report are a little low. I wasn't able to get all of them from dispatch, but I wanted to give you guys the ones that I actually could confirm. I expect our calls for service were actually somewhere around 210 to 220 calls for service last month. 1,400, or sorry, a little over 1,000 self-initiated activities, 78 citations, 116 warnings. Aquapalooza, which is a Captain Ron's big concert event, typically hosts around 10 to 12,000 people. Everybody I talked to that was involved with it said that this year was definitely the biggest, hands down. I'm curious to see what those numbers look like. I expect probably 15 to 20,000 people, and we had one law enforcement officer there. That was interesting. It was a very hot day with me doing a lot of walking.
Wow.
But the large events like that continuing to be larger and the biggest ever, and the increase we're seeing in traffic and sales definitely demonstrate how our service population is increasing during the summer months and extending further. Pleased to report that the PD was approved a $7,500 equipment grant through Department of Public Safety for counterterrorism. The grant was initially applied for to get 2 tough books. I applied for it this time last year. At that time, I could purchase 2 tough books for $7,500. The tough books now are like $5,500 a piece. So I'm not sure what we're gonna do with that one yet, as far as get to and cover the cost, the additional cost of the second one, or do a budget amendment and request to use those funds for something else that I can tie to counterterrorism, which I can tie to counterterrorism. We were also approved a $1,750 manpower grant dedicated to DWI enforcement. This is going to allow us to pay officers double time for focusing primarily on DWI enforcement for about a week or 2 week period. Combined, those wars were $9,250. We've been working really hard through July preparing the new police department for operations. The lease officially took effect July 15th. Considerable work's been completed. We are fully functioning in the new building. Holding off on making the public notice yet. We've still got to get some signage done and different things. However we function there, please feel free to stop by and see how we're doing. I'm hoping to have everything else out of that building here in the next week or so. We've only got a desk, some paint, and a roof left. Otherwise, noting in July, we did receive the Small Department Award for the LETSAC Conference, which is Law Enforcement Traffic Safety Advisory Council. That provided funding for me to go to their conference, including to the attendance and the hotel for the week. Really great conference where he's able to work with other agencies to kind of help promote highway safety. They do something fun for the officers and families that attend, and they've been doing it for years, is they do a police car show. These car shows are great for officer morale, but also retention and recruitment, because you're getting to get in front of a group of 500 experienced cops and show them your cool stuff. We, of course, won first place this year out of 17 vehicles, including going up against 2 Coyote Mustangs. Otherwise, we move into August, we're going to focus really high on highway safety, especially with having Parmalee coming in for the Cannonball Run. When they came a couple of years ago at the amphitheater, I believe it was almost a sellout show. So I'm expecting it to be as big, if not bigger, than what Aquapalooza was. And we're going to be also having thin resources with the increase of traffic to the shootout that week. So it will be, the next couple of weeks are going to be very interesting to get through.
Okay. Department reports. Do I see a head back there, Miss LOE? Clean water, wastewater report, please.
All right. The baseline of it is we've survived. It's been, the weather's been difficult to work in, but we managed to get it done. I have some really great things to report for drinking water. So your water loss is down from 41% to 23%, which is excellent. DNR considers acceptable water loss to be 30% or less. So, I'm just really happy about that. I just can't, I can't tell you how happy I am about that. That has been an ongoing issue. There's really no change in day-to-day operations. Troy did attend class in order to get his drinking water license, and I think that he really appreciated the amount of knowledge that we have to have. I think he's a little overwhelmed by everything they threw at you in a short period of time, but he learned a lot is kind of what I'm hearing. So, in other good news, we have located all the lost meters. So that couldn't be done, it's been done. We're going to continue, obviously, to shut off for production services. One thing that I did want to note, just so you guys kind of understand, when we talk water loss, we're doing a percentage from what's produced to what's sold. So the fact that not only did we go from 41% to 23% is exceptional. It's exceptional that we did it in peak season. So in June, we pumped and produced 1.7 million gallons. In July, we lost 41% of that. In July, we pumped 2.2 million gallons, but only lost 23% of that. So exceptionally good things happening on the drinking water side of things. Can't say the same for wastewater. Troy and Dolly are currently on site at a wastewater leak. They will be there until it's repaired. We did have to rent a mini. Luckily, there was one available. It's at a safe spot. It would have been incredibly difficult to get to. We would have had to hand dig it otherwise. So they're currently working on it. What prompted that is Troy was actually out training Dahlia on a routine major lift station check that we want to service preventative maintenance. And that check did its job, and they found a leak before it became a major problem. Got on site, they're getting it repaired. They got boots on, they're in the hole right now getting it fixed. So that side of things is not gonna stop. That's just part of the system. One of the things that I need to update you guys about is I have had issues with every single major lift station down Beechwood. So for you guys to be aware of that, in the last 6 weeks, we've managed to get the Cliff Drive lift station up and running. There's two sides to it, both are fully operational. Where we're at with that is kind of a standstill, and we're operating under the if it's not broke, don't fix it situation there. But the time will be coming that we will have to go and rehab that lift station, and it is not that old. So it's concerning to us. We're watching it, but these routine lift station checks are part of that. We're going to catch the problem before it's a major problem. A little farther back towards 5 is the Camden Pass lift station. We're currently operating under one pump there. We have been waiting for 8 weeks now for a soft start from Haynes. Apparently it's a 12-week lead before they even ship to us. So we're just in a holding pattern on that. We're keeping an eye on it as well. Little bit farther down the road, we hit Indian Hills. We had a soft start blow on one side of it, and not only did it blow out the soft start, we've blown out a $1,000 breaker and a $400 additional part as well. So we now have the soft start order to try and get the second side up and running. So we're obviously paying attention to this as well because we don't have backup pumps in place that are operational. We have, however, fully repaired the Singing Oaks lift station, which is excellent. Leaks, pumps, all the valves are all fully operational, which is great because there's a 14 or 15 unit apartment complex getting ready to be added to that. So we're very glad to have that under control. We've had multiple residential grinders that have needed to be repaired, multiple residential grinder calls, and we're just handling them as they come to us. So drinking water is behaving itself, wastewaters.
We're gonna come to the end of that line one of these days.
It's a work in progress. That's the whole point of preventative maintenance, is to find the problems before they.
Which we're doing now.
Do you find it concerning the Beechwood lift stations? Because those are our newest ones.
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do. And we've actually been in contact with not just the electrical engineers who designed the panels, but the panel engineers, the manufacturers, and the Indian Hills lift station was particularly frustrating. We thought it was just the breaker, ordered the breaker, replaced the breaker, not the breaker. And so even their engineers, it took them time to figure out what the root cause of the issue is. And at this point, we don't trust it. And so we're at the, we're gonna fix what they recommend to fix. That's obviously working, but until everything holds and pumps and operates to full capacity, I just don't trust it. That's kind of one of the reasons why we push so hard to get these routine checks in place. Part of it is just to put our eyes on them regularly instead of waiting for the public to call because there's an alarm going off. And on that note, the Shawnee Preserve lift station decided to blow up at midnight one night, and I literally had, I've never seen this before, so it's actually kind of cool if you're a wastewater nerd like I am. But what happened is the pumps were wired backwards. So the motors were running backwards and pumping backwards. They were not pumping water. The water is used to cool the pumps. And instead, they're heating up the water. So when a tech arrived on site for the emergency call, it was actually steaming the water. It was so hot that it was like steaming out of it. And even the next morning when we finally got Como out to match up our power correctly and get everything rewired, the metal lid was still too hot to actually physically touch without protection. So we got that one up and running and fully operational again as well. It is concerning, but it's just the next step. You know, we had all these drinking water problems. I said, give me 6 months, let's get it resolved. We did that, and you know, things are kind of clicking along. If a leak pops up, that's part of having a drinking water system. But all the back end cleanup is done, and now that we're at the peak season here at the lake and everybody's using your water system and your wastewater system, this is when these things pop up. I'd rather find them now than in the dead of winter and organized. So I am concerned that there's something to move on and try to be preventative.
Do you think the Beechwood issues are just due to more people here?
No.
No?
Go ahead, say it. I think that there has been faulty equipment use. It seems like the ones that are breaking are the last phase, and things like things being wired backwards.
See, I didn't know that
That's-
you did. I just, right.
So, I mean-
Give me a chance to put on, but
She tried to push me in that direction. I'm gonna stay neutral. I have to continue to work with these people. My personal opinion is that you guys suffer from a balance of poor maintenance, lack of knowledge historically about maintenance, lack of experience, and some equipment. Not that it's awful, every equipment has its place in certain applications, and some does not. So that's what I think personally. And I think moving forward, training the people who are gonna kind of carry this work, so to speak, is very important. And so that's like, when we put these processes into place, we try to do it in such a way that it doesn't require secret knowledge. You just do what's industry standard and you move forward. So hopefully when the next person comes along, they just pick up the ball and start running. That's our hope for you. That's our goal. So that's what I think, but that's a personal opinion only. It's just what I've seen.
Well, I respect you're trying to be tactful, but
Thank you.
bad equipment didn't wire it backwards.
No. No, and unless you are, on that one specifically, my husband, who is also your major lift station technician, is, if he didn't install it, he knows who installed it. I mean, we just got a service call for a panel and partition that he installed 20 years ago. So he's been around it for a really long time. He's a trained electrician. It's not an uncommon mistake to be made, unfortunately, and it is far above my head, but my understanding is it has to do with 3-phase. And so the wiring on one side has to match up to the wiring on the other. When those are switched, it may still run, it's not gonna run correctly. And so as he dug deeper and found that and got it resolved, again, using words that qualified use, but apparently the amps came down to normal operating level, the sound of the motor was healthy, but this. That. I am trying to be tactful, but you guys have had, one situation after another, just things too, and so I think that we're on the upswing of things for you, it's just a matter of time, and one of the things that's very important to me is in the next phases as we roll through them is some very, very, very construction oversight, because obviously that is, it's important for you to protect that future. Sorry.
No, that's good, thank
Thank
you.
you, Caitlin. No, and they've been excellent at fixing all the things we've had going on, but it's like every time my phone rings, I'm scared.
Mostly
Hey, no, they're getting to be less, that's true. Public Works, I talked to Troy this morning and kind of got an idea of what he has been up to. His summer help did not work out, so we are again looking for help for him. Our other clerk is out helping dig out the lift station right now, so anyway, things he has gotten taken care of is road patches at American Legion Road, Camden Pass, Kansas City Way, and Harborview. Tree and brush cutting, Old Sunrise Acres, the fourplex near Indian Hills, which I'm not sure I know where that is, Camden Pass and Kansas City Way, lift station repair at Indian Hills, Singing Oaks, Don Chalilos, and Cliff Drive. Other repair, Woods, we had a lawnmower go over something and break it, so they had to fix that. He did spend 5 days in a class trying to get certified for water testing. And today he's working at Bear Bottom, and he did rent the Mini at a cost of $425. So that's Public Works for you.
Hey, Caitlin, I do have a question. When he went to rent the Mini, was there only one available, the one he rented?
I am not sure.
No,
Okay.
no, he got the one he needed,
Okay.
which was the medium. They got a small, medium, large. He did get the one because he's got to go between all the RVs to get to the lift station. But I don't know who said that you can rent one for a couple $100, but that's not true. Far from true. It's $425 for $25, 24 hours. So when we get into budget talking, we will have to talk about some of that kind of equipment. I mean, it's hard enough when you only have one guy out there trying to do all this work. He's really got to have what he needs to do it. So I did talk to Old Sunrise Acres this past week, and Troy helped take care of most of the complaints that were coming from there. The one thing we do have to deal with is these large trucks that are tearing up our streets. We're talking about having an impact fee because we have some, of course, garbage trucks, logging trucks. When they back up and go back and forth trying to turn around, they are really tearing up the pavement. So it's something we'll have to make sure we have in our planning and zoning.
That is something when we start to pave the roads,
Mhm.
it's, trust me, those of us that live us can pinpoint where those spots are and they ain't gonna stop. If all we do is dump pavement back on there,
Not gonna
it's just
fix
gonna
it.
happen. So I think when we do that, we really need to talk about, are we better off actually doing a little extra in those spots and putting concrete in there or some other base or something that won't tear up and just constantly going to be there, because otherwise that's never going to end.
Yeah, the especially bad one is at Old Sunrise Acres in Beechwood. It's right across from Polylift. Now,
Oh, I got one just as bad on
Cliff.
Oak Top and Pinna.
Yeah.
And it's a T is what it's making.
Yeah. And I drove over there to see this one on Old Sunrise because she was saying, and you got to do something. We can't fix that.
Yep.
You can't throw patch in there and fix that. And it truly needs to be milled up and started over. I don't know if concrete would be the deal or not, but I do think the impact fee might help out, because if we start making people who are tearing these roads up
I was more thinking when the engineering work's being done, make sure they understand why it's that way. Yeah, the base has failed, but what's causing it is never going to stop. Those trucks are going to continue to turn in that exact same spot until the houses are no longer there.
Yeah.
So from an engineering perspective, what I'm really interested in, that we have them give us some ideas on things that could prevent us from every 2 years having to redo that.
Right. And we do, I mean, there are areas and believe me, I've talked and I know which areas they are, but obviously we work on a budget, so we can only do what we can do. Beechwood is going to be paved here soon, 1.2 miles of it. So that's the big project that we have this year, and it's already gone up in price because of asphalt. So we went from 500,000 to 575 now, just because of the price of oil and stuff right now. So it's something that we can do the best we can is all I can say about it. I mean, Troy can go out and throw a patch in a pothole, but that one on Old Sunrise, that's not gonna do anything for that.
So what's the major culprit? Garbage trucks?
Clay pocket.
It is,
Are these recurring all the time?
there's a logging company that is bringing in logs at that point, and we think that's what is doing it.
Well, what my comment would be is, down by my mom and dad's restaurant, we had a spot that it didn't matter what you threw in it. Now, this is gravel. It disappeared because it was clay or something. We put broken up concrete.
That's what Scott has said.
Rocks, you name it, we put in that spot.
They're large clay pockets that are doing it, and the issue is when these roads were paved, they weren't engineered. None of the lake roads were ever engineered or built to pass any sort of real impact test, because in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s, 80s, they didn't anticipate the amount of traffic or the amount of commercial. So it's just kind of like you said, is getting the engineering to come in. Do we dig out the clay packet, put some high potential fiber concrete in there? What is it we can do?
You're digging it out, I mean, how deep is it? I'm telling you, we put a lot of stuff in that hole.
Yeah.
And the semi trucks, the delivery trucks use that road along the side of the restaurant. And if the stuff disappeared, and
You can't,
we'd have that big.
can't stop the traffic and you can't stop commerce, but I mean, and impact fees are something a lot of cities charge. We don't, and I think we should. So we are looking at that already, but that's not gonna fix what's out there right now. So it is an issue. I just want everybody to know we are looking at it to do whatever we can do. So.
This isn't on the center road.
Mhm.
Not only is there a big hole in there, but the asphalt is actually raised up. And it's probably, I don't know, I'd say 6-8 inches high now.
And I think they patched that, didn't they?
Oh,
That wasn't our,
Time ago.
it was our, yeah. Probably 2 years ago, they threw some asphalt down.
yeah, but now the stuff is raised up.
Yeah, it's inside lane is when they turn there, it pushes, it makes a lip.
Yeah.
It's just a force.
I mean, it's an oil product, it's soft, and especially as hot as it is right now, it's really soft.
That's one of the biggest problems is with the patching is historically the city used cold patch, which
Yeah, I know.
you can't hard pack. And then even with using the hot patch, they're limited on what they can do to pack it down. As far as, I think right now Troy does the best he can with driving a truck over it about 1 million times versus coming with like a big steamroller or something like that.
I think we need to knock that mound down, or else it's gonna get bad, and somebody can hit an oil pan or something on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did drive out and take a look at it. It does stick up quite a ways.
Gene and I were talking before the meeting that perhaps when the, whoever gets the Beechwood job, they're gonna be opening bids here at the end of the month, that perhaps I could have that asphalt person go around and kind of look at certain areas and say, what would it take to fix this? Kind of try to get some bids and see if maybe we can fix some of it.
It's a good idea.
So,
But for the time being, I think someone needs to knock that mound down. Or a scraper, a shovel, and a truck crusher in there or something.
Maybe he could do it with the skid steer.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
That's all I think.
Note to Troy, and that's from Cliff, right?
Center
Center.
at the entrance of Terry's RV park.
Okay. Planning and zoning, I'm not gonna really go into it a lot because we do have that meeting and hopefully any of you that can be there will be there because what we're asking is the public to tell us if we're doing the right thing with the ordinance for the data centers. So that's what that's all about. As far as any other planning and zoning, I guess we'll have a meeting in September, possibly to pass the,
So we're gonna have, we're definitely having a public hearing coming up. We're probably a week or two away from having the final draft of the zoning code. And we'll have to have a public hearing regarding that. And then after the public hearing, we'll take into effect what the public has voiced, see if any amendments need made, and then have a planning and zoning meeting to make a recommendation to you guys on the new planning and zoning regulations. Other than that, we've been doing several permits still and variance requests. So the city is continuing to grow and build.
For the data center meeting coming up, do we have the draft ordinance posted online so people can see it?
is it on the website or not?
I didn't put the draft.
Can we put that up so people can see what they're
I
gonna
think
be
that's
looking at?
probably a decent idea. Does it say draft on it? Make sure it does say draft if we put it on the website, or are you saying no?
No, I don't think the one I sent you said draft.
Okay,
I was gonna say, I don't think it says.
So-
I can put a big watermark on it, send it back to you.
yeah, because we want to make sure they understand it's draft, it's not sealed.
I just got it from him today, so I can put it up there.
Okay,
Well, that way people have time to take a look at it.
right. No, I agree. It's about 14 pages long, so, and it's not very exciting to read.
No.
If you get it to me tomorrow, I can just add it, because I
Have we reached out,
put the
like
new
other
posted today.
cities, counties?
We have, and actually our attorney has put together this draft and it's being approved by other cities too. So it's got, you know, that's how where most of them come from. We see what other people are doing. Unlike Camdenton's, which is about 50 pages long, this one's about 14 pages.
I've heard
So-
Camden is
Yeah.
strong.
Well, and the thing is, you don't have to have 50 pages to make it strong. All you have to do is hit the right spots and say exactly, you know, where you want as far as land use and what things we have to look at when we grant a permit. So the noise, the water, the energy, all of that stuff. So I think we hit most of those points, and, you know, everything I read a couple of times because it's hard to digest. Looks like we hit all the points, but that's why we want to put a lot of eyes on it. So,
And the draft that you all included is your starting point. There may be changes that you want
Right.
on
Mhm.
areas. It's a place for you to start. It's easier to start with something than nothing.
absolutely.
The biggest concern that we've been hearing is how you define the noise, because it's not really the noise, it's the vibration and the hum. So what you're seeing in ordinances is they're changing, instead of just decibels, and they're doing like DVC. I mean, they're identifying more specifically
Mhm.
what you're trying to measure. Because noise is one thing, but that hum,
Vibration.
that vibration doesn't register from the other, like decibel. So that's in there, but some of them are what you hear is from what people think is
Right.
responsible for Sunrise Beach.
Well, and that's what, I mean, we're trying to be very careful and very transparent about it. We want everybody to have their 2 cents in this because it is for your village, and we want to make sure we do it right. So, finances, let's approve some bills. Has everybody had a chance to look at the new ones that Aaron passed out and see if there's anything you want to question or whatever? I just want to mention to you, taxes came in for July, very high. So again, I've talked to several other cities that are talking about, oh, we're up 3%, we're up 4%. If we continue on the route we're up over 10% up. So that's a good thing. So anyway, can I have a motion to approve the list of bills?
Motion to approve list of bills.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And how about the payment to central bank? That's a once a year payment that we have on a commercial loan.
Motion to approve the payment to central bank.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And the payment to MTFC for 25,000, and that again is a loan payment.
That's a small borrower loan, if anybody needs to know.
What is it?
The small borrower loan.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I had on the agenda to talk about a 5-year plan, but under the circumstances, because we still don't have our budget ready to look at, I'm going to table that to another meeting, because I'm trying to put together a 5-year plan that everybody can look at and maybe add to or subtract from where we're going. Because we know where we are in 26. I want to try to start thinking about 27 and 28, how much paving we can get done, how many repairs we're going to have.
I see it.
So we'll table that for this meeting and talk about that at another time. Ordinance, Aaron, the first one.
First one's gonna be for 2026-05. And that is an ordinance of the Village of Sunrise Beach amending the Village Code, Chapter 215 by adding one new article regarding recreational vehicles. First reading.
This ordinance is all about adding to our nuisance ordinance that's already in place, and it's just adding a separate section about RVs, campers, travel trailers, etc. Truck campers, tents, because we didn't have anything specific, I'm assuming, and we didn't have it in our nuisance ordinance actually, which is absolutely telling you that this is not allowed. So we're going to go ahead and have a first and second reading, but first read, are they both oral?
Voice vote and then roll call.
Voice on the first one, so I will need a motion on the first vote.
Motion set the reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So the second reading for 2026-05, an ordinance of the Village of Sunrise Beach amending the Village Code, Chapter 215 by adding one new article regarding recreational vehicles.
Motion we accept the ordinance as amended.
Second.
Second.
And then roll call for Greg Ward,
Yes.
and then Daniel Hossetter,
Yes.
and Susan Snyder,
Yes.
Gene Delane.
Yes.
And Michael George.
Yes.
And if you want to get that into general code right away, I'll sign it before I leave here. And this ordinance, general code looks at all of our ordinances that are in on the website, and they update anything that has new things added to it per state statutes and everything. So it's basically, they're keeping us up to date every year. This ordinance is saying we have adopted the 2026 updates. We did have the attorney look over the updates, and I think actually Aaron put this list, that's what they updated, everything on here. So that is what they updated. We had the attorney look them over, and there was nothing that great on there that we had to really dig into. And so what we're doing is telling general code, yes, we accept the updates.
Okay,
And is this to This is also two readings, so
Yes, two
first
readings.
reading motion.
First reading motion, do you want me to read by
Oh,
title?
read the title.
Because this one's a little bit longer, but an ordinance adopting and enacting a new code of ordinances of the Village of Sunrise Beach, County of Camden, State of Missouri, establishing the same, providing for the repeal of certain ordinances not included therein, except as herein expressly provided, providing for the manner of amending such code or ordinances, providing penalty for the violation thereof, and providing when the ordinance shall become effective. First reading.
Have a motion
I
to
make a
accept.
motion, we accept it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Okay. And on the second reading, is an ordinance adopting and enacting a new code of ordinances of the Village of Sunrise Beach, County of Camden, State of Missouri, establishing the same, providing for the repeal of certain ordinances not included therein, except as herein expressly provided, providing for the manner of amending such code of ordinances, providing penalty for the violation thereof, and providing when this ordinance shall become effective. Motion.
Motion to
Make a motion to accept.
second.
Second.
And then roll call, Fred Gordon,
Yes.
and then Jane Ellison,
Yes.
Susan Snyder,
Yes.
Jean Delaney.
Yes.
And Michael George.
Yes.
Okay. We are going to move into closed session to talk about real estate. I would like a motion to close this meeting and open the closed session.
Make a motion to close the open session.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And the motion to open a closed session, and we can excuse you